All right.
Let's do this.
Okay. Welcome to FoodKast.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for having me.
Today we have here with us Chef Jeremie Siverio.
Siverio.
Sorry. How you wanted me to pronounce your call you?
Siverio.
Yeah.
Siverio. Yeah.
All right. Okay, papi.
Hashtag Siverio.
Hashtag Siverio. All right. What's your weapon of choice for today? What you brought for us?
My weapon of choice. So because it's summer, it's really hot outside. So I decided just to bring a little Pinot Grigio.
All right.
I really enjoy the Pinot Grigio because it had this fruity taste inside, and it's not too sweet, it's not too sour, and it's refreshing. So this is what we're going to get today. Huh?
Oh, thank you.
No problem.
All right. As I open that, talk to me. How you Tell me a little bit about your background, where you come from, how you become a chef, and how you end up here in Ireland.
Wow. I'm from Venezuela. You know that.
Yeah.
I've been around 8 years here in Ireland, and basically, the last thing that I will think that I will be doing was chefing. To be honest.
Yeah.
As I was telling to you, my father was a military man, and I was like a bit into the military world, right?
Yeah.
But they never let me follow my father's steps.
Yeah.
So I started going around and searching places what to do. So I did a lot of stuff. I did journalism. I did laws. I'm currently a human resource administrator. Actually,
Oh, really?
People don't know that, but I'm a human resource administrator. And when I found after I graduated that I was just sit down on a desk doing that shit, huh?
Oh yeah.
Not bad, no?
Oh yeah.
It smells nice.
Wow.
It's not bad at
It's
all.
very light.
It's very light, but you'll see it's very refreshing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Mm.
It's not too sweet, not too sour. It's
Yeah.
refreshing.
Lovely. That's really nice. Really nice. But tell me more.
So as I was saying, so I graduate on human resources, and then when I saw myself sit down on a desk, Monday to Friday doing nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. It's just when you sit down on a desk in a little small cubicle, and it's so boring. I used to take 4 or 5 cigarette breaks because it was so boring, payroll and this kind of paperwork.
And all that in Venezuela.
All that in Venezuela, yeah.
All right.
All that in Venezuela. So I really got bored.
And what was your age in that stage?
Well, I graduated around 20 years old probably.
Whoa, very young.
Very young. Yeah, I finished college, and then I find myself over there, and I really didn't know what to do with my life because that was not my thing for sure.
Yeah.
And then I got this call from a friend, chef, also Fabian Montoya. I hope he's seen this. But he was the one that gave me that call that I will never forget. And he was like, look, man, what are you doing? It's like, well, I'm working here. I'm not really happy. Would you like to join in this kitchen with me? And that kitchen was Buddha Bar, right? We refurbish and clean all the kitchen.
That's in Caracas, yeah?
No, that was in San Cristobal. San Cristobal,
right.
Venezuela. And we started doing all this cleaning around and working hard over there. It was just a small kitchen, and 3 chefs over there, and we were doing tapas, that kind of menu over there. And I love it. I fall in love of the place. I was young, so I really liked the thing that I was working during the nights, and then after that having a little party after. When you're young, that's all what you want, late nights and partying. And that was my beginnings as a chef. So I started as let's say commis. It was a commis, and everything went really well. And I was working there a couple of months, and from that moment, I think everything just started falling immediately. I never
in the right place. You mean
in the right place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
I wasn't never looking for something. I wasn't never applying to stuff were just coming around to me,
naturally.
Naturally.
Yeah.
And that's how I evolved. I started working in different restaurants around the city. Then I moved to the capital, and then I started working for a catering over there. We used to work for the Air Force and doing a lot of night events, weddings, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And as you know, well, the situation in Venezuela is not great. And
That which year was that? Like 2006, 2000, early 2000s?
no,
No.
2014.
Oh, so it was already later in the a little bit
Yeah.
after the when the boom start to go down.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, like things were not great over there at the moment.
When does the things start to change there in Venezuela? Was it in the middle 2000s, right?
Yeah, I mean,
And not for the
everything
good way.
happens with this so-called revolution.
Yeah.
The year 2000.
All right.
And people were changing their visions of politics and how the country should be managed and blah 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 with all this so-called revolution of the socialist people that is running the country right now. But then everything started to decline, right? So it's like when people tell you like, oh, you leave the boat on time because the things were not that
Yeah.
bad as it is now. So my sister came out with this idea of like, look, you just leave the country. And it was like, okay, where? And she decided, it was her own decision to come to Ireland. And actually I was applying to the military forces in Italy, right?
Oh.
So my plan was like, okay, I'm going to call the embassy. I'm going to ask them if they need one more soldier or something like that. And can you give me the ticket? And I was thinking like, look, if they put me in a military fortress or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
I will learn the language,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna have food, and I'm gonna have house. You know, family I don't need it. You know what I mean? It was like
Yeah,
all
yeah,
I
yeah.
need is just to learn the. But then I decided to come here after a year. Then my sister was here because she already had like she was already settled, and
She was settled in Dublin already.
yeah, in
Oh,
Dublin,
alright,
although
yeah.
she had her own apartment and everything. So I was like, look, why not? Let's give it a try.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's been amazing. It's been fantastic. In a professional way, in a personal way, it's been great to be here. It's been amazing. Since I came here, I started again as a commissar, but I started in Donnybrook Fair, right?
Nice.
And Donnybrook Fair was sending me around the city. I get to cook on the factory. I was doing like 3,000 meatballs a day because you know it's like a production unit.
Yeah, production line. Yeah.
Yeah.
A
And
CPU.
then, like,
A CPU.
yeah, there
Yeah,
you go,
yeah.
CPU. And then I was sent to a little truck in Trinity College.
Just to tell people who doesn't know, CPU is stand for Central Production Unit.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yes.
There you go.
Continue, please.
And yeah, I was sent to a little truck in Trinity College. I was just actually selling coffee over there, you know. So no cooking at the moment.
Any decent coffee?
No, that was actually regular coffee, but we were making a bunch of money over there.
Are you a coffee drinker?
I am.
Yeah.
I actually I had this conversation with my girlfriend a couple of days ago because, oh my god, the prices on the coffee here are going to the roof, man.
You know why the prices are going up, yeah?
The war and the gas.
No, only every 7 years, give and take, there is a drought in Brazil. Brazil is the biggest producer of coffee. Yeah.
We do nice coffee.
So
too.
yes, yeah, I know that.
And Colombia does it too.
Oh yeah, Colombia have like really nice grains there.
Juan Valdez, of course.
Oh yes. So when they have that drought, normally they of course your production will be not as high as usual. So we have that drop, and because of that drop, normally increase the prices. But that was about a year ago, and people was just waiting for the price to come up. And then with the war, with the COVID, just heat the prices up. Yeah, no, yeah. Just a footnote for your coffee part.
I say we all knew that COVID was bouncing back in some point,
Yeah.
right? I think like with all the support that we had here from the government and everything, we all knew that this will bounce back on us, especially in the hospitality sector.
Yeah.
It's a crisis right now in the hospitality sector. But I think we all knew that the recession was coming, and this is what is happening now. So, talking about coffee again, I used to get this quick Nescafe coffee.
Oh,
right?
God.
I know, but this
Yeah.
is my guilty pleasure. The Nescafe Acera.
All right.
It's actually not that bad, right? But it went from €4 to €8.
But like you just drink like what do you drink normally? Americano?
Oh, black
or
Americano,
Americano?
no sugar,
Okay.
no milk, no nothing. I used to drink sugar, like coffee with sugar, but I stopped eating sugar. Like it's not good for you. So just black.
Did it make any difference cutting the sugar for you?
Oh well, yeah. Like I started like a year ago. I was like 12 kgs extra. So
Really?
yeah. So
And then just reducing the sugar make that difference.
I started doing keto.
Yeah.
Right. So or keto. So I started doing keto diet. So I took all the carbs and sugars.
Explain a little bit more. What's keto diet?
Well, keto diet basically is a diet which is I will not recommend. It will take you. It will take you to your goal. All right.
Yeah.
So let's suppose you have a goal. I want to lose 12 kgs in a month. Right. So basically, what you do is start feeding your body with carbs and sugars. Right.
Yeah.
So you take all the sugars and carbs from your diet. So you won't believe how many carbs is in like a can of tomatoes.
Yeah.
Right. So basically, what you're getting is like protein, cheese, mayo, bacon, all that kind of stuff that are actually healthy for you. People don't believe this, but they're actually healthy for you and help you to lose weight. So once I erase or delete all the carbs in my life, I start doing gym at the same time and intermittent fasting. So actually, that's something that I'm still doing it. I eat once a day.
Wow.
Only. So in a month, I actually lost the 12 kgs.
Wow.
But it's not good for you because after you're doing the gym and all this combined, the body will not find any energy, like any source of energy, like sugar or carb. And what it's going to do is going to start burn the muscle.
Yes.
So you get really skinny. And so that's what I say. Like it's a diet that it will help you to reach your goal, but it's not healthy in a long way.
Yeah. So now like you change your diet. Yeah.
Yeah, I completely changed my diet. I eating anything. I'm just not eating too much sugar, and I kept the intermittent fasting. So I ate once a day at 7 o'clock. So that's my window, 7 to 8. So I can have everything. So I have like my main course, I have my dessert and everything. But after that, during the day, it's just like black coffee.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's healthy for you actually.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
good. But going back now to your Nescafe experience in Trinity College. Was Nescafe?
Oh,
no,
right.
no, it was a
That
cafe.
was actually a nice cafe grinder, grinding cafe. I was doing flat whites. I was doing a little bit of everything over there, right? So there was an experience because, like, when you come here and you have like no English, you have nothing, you need to develop in some way. So I was.
You didn't speak English when you came here.
I have a little bit only because.
All right. You could communicate.
You know, like I live in Kansas City when I was a child, like 8 years old,
for
a short period of time. So I got something from there. And at the same time, when you watch all these movies and people ask you, like, where did you learn your English? It's like, well, I was playing video games and watching movies, you know? But we, like, whoever lives here in Ireland will understand that it's not only talking English, what is, like, it's the accent, right? So people that actually know English from other places come here and start like listening to this accent in Irish. Like they struggle a lot. So I learned my English here again. Let's put it this way. And I finished in the little coffee truck. And Donnybrook Fair sent me to their first catering in Ireland, which was Alexandra College. It's a boarding school only for girls. I have to say, like, very wealthy girls, right?
Yeah.
And I was working there as a commie chef, but I mean, I guess everything is an experience. It wasn't great, but I guess like you learn from every single experience you have in your life. And that was the first job that actually drove me to where I am now. And after a couple of years, when I was tired of like doing everything over there, I applied to Microsoft, and I think that was the best thing that I had. Like,
how was your experience there in Microsoft?
There was quite a bit. That was quite something.
For the catering, just put there a caveat: is catering, not tech, correct? Cooking there. Yeah.
Yeah. So I saw this advertisement, and it's like they're looking for a common chef there, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, look, why not? You know, it's like this kind of stuff that you see advertised on the internet. It's like, this might not happen, but let's just drop it there just because. And I got a call from Microsoft, from the head chef of Microsoft.
Who used to be the head chef there?
Oh, his name, I didn't mention him too much because he was leaving when I was arriving. His name was Bernard, but I can't remember his surname.
Yeah.
But the executive was Jimmy Q.
Oh, yes.
You know Jimmy.
Jimmy, yes.
Jimmy. And I had my interview and everything, and everything went well. And then that was like my first actual job as a common chef here. It was very interesting because the bunch of people and friends that I made there, like, I still keep talking with them and everything.
There's a multicultural site there, yeah?
Oh my God, yeah. Like that's the best thing that I been experimenting here in Ireland is the multicultural thing.
Yes.
Like every kitchen that I've been working, I like to count how many different countries are there. And I remember in Microsoft there was a small kind of unit, and there were like between 10 to 12 different nationalities. It was super cool. It was super cool because I was new, not much English, so I had my head chef over there asking me to do stuff, and like he was asking me like, bring me the radish or bring me the courgettes, and I didn't have a clue what was it, right? So my plan every day was like, okay, give me the instructions, yeah? Okay. And I used to go to the toilet, run with my phone, Google every single thing. And it was like, I didn't even knew how to write them, right? So like I did my best to write it on Google, and then any pictures that come in is like, oh, probably it's this. So I run to the fridge, get the stuff, back to the kitchen, and then like, chef, is this? Yeah. And that's how I was like improving my English and improving my knowledge about all the food and all the language that you use in the kitchen, right?
But I think it's not just because of the language barrier. Recall one of the chefs that used to work for me. One's like local. He's from Tala. Probably you met him, Dennis Melson.
Yeah, I know him.
So he came to work for me there as a commis chef, and the first week I just told him like, Dennis, go get me courgettes in the fridge, and he came back with cucumbers.
Well,
and I look at that.
They look alike.
They look like, but like, come on, it's not the language.
It's like a coriander or parsley. Coriander or parsley, they're more.
Flat parsley. Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Continue.
But you know where I'm coming from, no?
Yeah, that's a nice story.
And no, this, I have you a better one, right? So, my head chef is around the kitchen or around outside, and I'm on the main kitchen with this chef from China. You ever met Andy?
Andy, yes.
Andy, 70% flour, Andy. And it was so funny because he had such a strong accent, and he had like less English than me probably. And I remember I was like working with him, trying to understand what he was saying, and he comes to me, he's like, Jeremy, yeah, chef, bring me container. Just container, right? Yeah, I know that one. Container. So I go and I get a tray, a deep tray. No, give me a container. Jesus Christ. So I go back to the pot wash, get a nice regular tray, 12-inch. And I'm like, no. And he was so upset. I was so frustrated. I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do here, And then I had to collect and gather like at least 3 chefs to understand what he was saying. He was asking for coriander.
Oh my God.
Container. It was a coriander. Was like, wow, Andy, like for real, I'm doing my best, And but yeah, look, Microsoft, that place was amazing. That was like a nice working unit. When it's these kind of places where you don't feel it's a job, it's like a family working there.
Yes.
And you complain about the silliest stuff, and now that you're in the upper level, you go back and you see like, you're like, oh my God.
But when we started there, Microsoft was the old building.
The old building,
right?
In Sandyford.
Both are in Sandyford. Yeah, it's just like the old one, and they opened the Microsoft one.
Yes, the big, huge, massive.
Yeah, that is like literally a wonderland.
Oh yeah,
wonderland for food.
Like,
and how was that experience for you? Because you were in charge of one of the kitchens at that stage.
Yes. So what happened in the old Microsoft place was that I was doing my job, and like I think this depends of anyone's working ethic, you know. So I was pushing myself to do extra hours, no payment,
Yeah.
and was just doing my job. So for me, that was just doing my job. For many people, it's like, oh, well, I'm staying here until late, you know. For me, that was just doing my job.
That's being a chef.
Yeah, and trying to shine a little bit over the rest of the people. So I remember one day I was a little bit frustrated, and because people was expecting a lot of me, but I wasn't in the position that I wanted, right? So I had this chef, and I had to tell him once, it's like, look, man, I'm just a commis, right? What you asking me is not a commis job, and that I think got to the head chef here, and they came to me and they were like, Jeremie, I thought you were a CDP. It's like, no, man, I'm just I'm just a commis here. So they made me a CDP over there. So, like, who don't know, is CDP is a chef de partie, which is a chef that is in charge of a section, right?
Yes.
And then this massive new project that they got in Microsoft, I had to say, like, they managed it like really, really well. I was working for KG, and wow, like, what can I say about Microsoft? Like, Microsoft, the big building, we have how many kitchens there? Like 5 or
The new building.
the new building.
The
Yeah.
new building. You have this central production, and then you have your pastries there. The pastry area there is
The
phenomenal.
bakery, yeah.
The
so
bakery, yes. The
chef
bakery,
table.
you have stable, you have the one you used to
That's
run.
my baby, street kitchen.
The
Yeah.
street kitchen
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
in my opinion was the best because you had all the toys in one kitchen.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
And then you had the pizza, the Italian quarters.
Yeah.
You had the kitchen upstairs
and
for hospitality.
The kitchen for hospitality, and the one with the sops.
Yes, and yes, a
Yeah.
little bit further. So you had a
lot to cover.
vast,
There was a
vast
lot
kitchen.
to cover. I have to give some credit to the management there because, like, it's not easy to manage all this. You know, it's a huge operation. You know,
Oh yes, yes.
like
All fairness, like what Kevin, the executive chef there, Kevin Carrigan, he's amazing.
oh wow,
From
yeah.
one of the people I know, like the
Legend,
chef.
man.
Yes,
Legend.
the chefs I know, like I put my hand on the heart,
Oh, yeah.
hands down, like he's good.
A legend,
He's
yeah.
good, and his management style there, he managed to the
And
place.
the standard.
Yes,
Wow.
yes,
Like, if you work in Microsoft, man, you're elite chef.
yes.
And that's because of the standard that Kevin has, and it's very high standards. They won't let you go with silly games around there. You know, like, I know that many people think it's like an army, but it has a purpose behind.
But it's a kitchen.
Yes.
He's old style in that sense. He's fair. He's fair though.
Yes.
But like in the end of the day, is like, yeah, chef, no chef, I
But
don't
no,
know
at the end
chef.
of the day, it's your work. You have to do your work.
Yeah.
And what I like from this is, like, you know, like, you have work in a lot of kitchens. You have these scruffy chefs and these messy chefs, and there was no space for that, right? Or you work well, you work clean, you work in time, or you're out, you know. And there was like, it teaches you structure, you know, and that's amazing because I think there's a lack of structure in many of the kitchens.
Do you think you got drew to the culinary world because the way you grew up as
The culinary
you know,
award,
like
the
because
CDP of the year.
no. I'm saying like how you got the culinary world. You think it's because your background, when you grew up with your father being in the military, and the structure, the discipline to be a chef, to be a.
It's similar, you think?
It's,
That's what I'm saying.
because it is.
Now this looks like therapy now, man. Like, oh, when I'm getting to maybe this is coming from there. Like, I didn't think about that, but yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think
because
because
the idea, like the food or the brigade as you see in a kitchen come from the French. And then back then like the French used to use the kitchen, who used to run the kitchen used to be the head of the army.
So actually, chef means chief.
Yes, because that what, let's say, the Lord would just trust that person to cook for them. So the structure went through the kitchen. and then you have all the ranks, and then there's no chef, no chef, I don't know chef.
Yeah.
You think that translates a little bit your passion to bring you to the kitchen, or
I think it might be affected. Yes, I think structure in the kitchen it's incredibly important. I think during these times that's gone. To be honest, I think. Look, I'm not the kind of person that agrees with screaming, shouting, and throwing pots to people in their heads. Those were the old times in the kitchen.
Oh yes, definitely, yeah.
I have a couple of stories about, right, but I'm not saying that it's okay to do that. I think everyone deserves to be treated with respect, right? But at the same time, you need this structure to because like people. How they say here, like the people will take the piece. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you need this.
We can't curse here, you know that.
No, sorry.
I'm joking.
I was actually about to start a joint or something. You know
I'm joking. We are not.
It's a family.
No,
show.
no, you can curse. There's no problem. We are not Joe Rogan here, yeah. But yeah, keep going.
I do think that. It's important that you respect your
the hierarchy.
Yeah, the hierarchy.
Yes,
yeah. Because
there's new times.
Oh yeah, totally,
I start to notice that middle of 2010s.
Especially with this new generation.
Yeah, like you can't shout. I disagree as well with the shouting and screaming. I know I passed through that phase in the kitchen to go and have my tantrums and throwing things around.
We all got a little bit of that.
Yes, but I noticed that do not turn you in a leader. You become a boss, and people don't work for bosses. They work for leaders, and that's what I keep telling everyone out there. If I was superstar, I would be Gordon Ramsay, and then I could do that. But I'm not. If I was Gordon Ramsay, I would have like my 6 Michelin star restaurants, you know.
I do have all the respect to Gordon Ramsay. Okay.
But in person, he's amazing. He's a lovely guy.
I hear.
He is. But it's more or less what you said about Kevin in Microsoft. He has his right hand. When I used to work there for him, that guy walks in. He don't say much. The guy was fine. But he walks.
You told me something like he spots something.
He just walk around, passing the hand in the top of the things, checking if there's some dust, and going around to see if the things are done properly.
Yeah.
And it's the fear. But when you work in a fine dine, you know you're there, and like used to be 6 of us paid. The other 20 chefs we had was all interns. So the interns. They're there to get your job because they want to get paid now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then, but you always, you're every single day in the hook. But now, when you go to catering, 99% of the time, 98%, let's say like that, there's that 2% is the case where you went, the places I work as well, is where you have like the high level.
Yeah.
And that's the places people do not take for granted those days.
But look, I'm gonna put it this way. Like I say, like these days I became a little bit more softy.
In which way?
You see, like experience tells you that. I mean, you're growing up. You know, like when you're a chef and you go above the rank, you at the same time you're learning and you're growing up, and then you discover like just what you say. People follow leaders; they don't follow bosses. And I realized that I was a boss, right? They actually have a nickname for me in Microsoft. It was Capitano.
Ah,
right. And people used to fear.
Not bad.
People used to fear to go to work with me, right? Because I'm very strict on my stuff, right? It's like you have a limit of time. This has to be clean, you know. Like pam, 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 pam. And but I don't regret. You know why? Because it makes me proud right now that now that I'm in an upper level, now that I'm head chef, working with guys that were CAs in Microsoft, and these guys are like CDP right now, and they come to me, it's like, you know, Jeremy, all what I am right now, all the structure that I have, all the organization that I know, and the way that I work is because of you. You know that. And
that's very good.
You know, it makes me feel proud, you know, because the people that is good and they want to work. Sometimes you don't need a 5-star chef or a chef with a big background. I have worked with people that had zero background, but they want to work and they want to do the work. And I think that's more important than anything. So it's people that want to learn, people that is not checking the clock all the time to see when is the break coming, people that is not like, oh, I need to go for a smoke every 5 minutes, you know?
Yeah.
People that want to progress. And like after 8 years here in
It's
Ireland,
not. It's not about the money.
it's not about the money, it's passion.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
It's passion. It's like be proud of what you're doing. Because every time that you're serving a plate, that's your name over there.
What was the worst name you were being called?
Can I say it?
Yeah, you can.
Arsehole.
All right.
I work with two guys. Like sometimes the stress of the kitchen is a lot, right? And this guy was working with me, right? And he was very happy to work with me, right? He was from Mongolia, and I remember I told the guy like, "Hey, how are you, man?" Like he was older than me. Actually, can I? Thank you. And everything started great in the morning. And I remember I told the guy like, "How are you? You okay?" "Yeah, okay. This is your list of stuff you had to do for 11:30, right?"
Yeah.
So your man is just in a corner, just chopping stuff, doing nothing else. I mean, we're talking about 6 a.m. to 11:30. You have enough time to do, some prep. And on the morning I told him like, "Oh, I had a chef here from Mongolia. He didn't last 3 days last time. I hope to last longer." And your man is like, "Oh, yeah. Oh, no worries, chef. It's fine." I come back at 11 o'clock to see how his prep done. He had 2 things done. So of course the time and the stress start like getting to your back. The service starts at 11:30. You need to have everything done. Then you're thinking that besides this, you have to do production for the next day, and of course depression started kicking. Look, that service was horrible, man. Was horrible, and the guy was very slow. The guy was like all over the place, dirty, just talking and chatting. And at some point, I lose it completely, and I was like, "Look, you know what? Get out of the section." "No, but I was get out of the section. Like, you're not working here with me. I don't need you here. You're causing more troubles than help." And I remember at the end of the day, he got this complaint about me, right? He was complaining that I was pushing him too much. I don't know if I can say this even like you can edit this later if you want. He said that his ass was bleeding.
Oh my God, man!
Because of me, because of the stress, and it's like, well, like I'm just asking you to do a couple of stuff, man. You're doing nothing. And I remember he left the section and he told me like, "Fuck you," and I was like, "Okay. Thank you. See you later." After half an hour, 45 minutes, you know how it is, chef. We go to the boiling point, then we cool down, and then we come back.
Yeah.
That's what the fridges are on, the freezer.
It's not to keep the food cool, it's to cool down the chefs.
Cool down everything. And the your man come back to me and it's like, "Look, man, you know what? I'm sorry. It's been a pleasure." He shook my hand, but this is not for me. And I was like, "Look, man, respect you.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely it's not for you. I'm sorry.
Fair play.
Like I'm not going to tell you like, 'Oh, poor baby, come here.' No, you can do it. Come on, like it was a simple task to do, and you find everything. You find good chefs, people who want to work, and people that just don't.
And like working with many nationalities. Like you're saying there, what add on in your career? Did you find something different, like working like with the gringos, or
we are the gringos?
We are the gringos. Yes. So, do you feel difference, like the way people will work to be like? I think use the word foreigner is very pejorative, but like with different. Gaijin, it's the same, but in Japanese.
Yeah.
But like, let's say, work with people with different nationalities. Do you feel the difference between the nationalities, or something they add on, or the passion they have?
Well, I say I'm the kind of person, Ricardo, that I don't like to judge people by a book. Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
that was super wrong. Man, this is heat. This is speaking already. You should not judge a book by its
By the
cover,
cover, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
There's many people that comes, and I hate when people say it's like, oh, the Polish people, oh, the Brazilians, oh, the Latinos, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, you're Colombian, oh, drugs. Oh, you're Venezuela, oh, drugs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think there's good people and bad people everywhere.
Yeah.
What I have learned, a lot of bad words in different languages. That's a good one.
Cooking techniques. Did you feel difference between cooking techniques?
Cooking techniques and new recipes. You see, if you go to Latin America, well, if you're Latino too,
Yeah, yeah.
okay, you don't know what is a moussaka.
Okay, I'm from São Paulo. Okay,
You have moussaka in Sao Paulo.
we do. Like São Paulo, you have everything. Like when people say there's a war there in the Middle East, you have literally wall separating two restaurants. One will be Syrian, the other one will be Lebanese, and they go to they support the same team. They go to the stadium together, and you have that.
Yeah.
So the food culture in Brazil, in São Paulo, is just surreal.
It's surreal. Okay.
One day, if we go to São Paulo, let's go together. At this stage, I'm already gringo for them as well, yeah. But like when you go there, like I tell you something is like a few days back, I had a meeting with the client, and the client dropped a few desserts from Israel, and I don't remember the name now. All right, so but I got that. I look and said, "Wow, that's my childhood," and they're looking and said, "I don't know what's that." Just get like a small bite, and then like making faces. I said, "That's amazing."
Yeah.
You know, like and like when people come from Brazil and come over and they bring like family wise, they bring some treats for my wife, and it's exactly that. I don't recall the name now, but I remember the first time I made that dessert. I had like a wooden spoon. I was turning the thing. If you overcook, is when it starts to get too hard.
Okay.
And I didn't know the point. It was the first time I did. I just was there. I look and I said, I think need a little bit more, and then holding the pot, and then suddenly,
oh, the spoon. Oh.
The spoon broke.
Oh my God.
But anyway, nevertheless, is the point is what I see in the cultures like food like that, as you said, moussaka, and yeah, I knew moussaka.
No.
Yeah, but there's a lot of things you don't see there. Yes.
What I'm trying to say is like it's amazing when you start working with these all new ingredients that you don't have. Like, look, working with harissa paste, miso paste, that kind of stuff. And remember something, and this is a word, I don't know if it's an actual word or something that Kevin taught me. But when, like, at least in my country, so, and I think this is in every country, you have Chinese food, let's put it this way, right? And then what you have is a bastardization. That's the word, bastardization. I don't know if it's a word.
All right.
Or it's a bastardization.
I'm gonna get my wife to check on that. She's the English teacher here. She will know better. There is a dictionary up there. Probably should start to flick there. Yeah.
So it's a bastardization of the real thing, right?
Yes.
So you have your own Chinese Venezuelan, and then in Colombia they will have their own Chinese Colombian, and all the Chinese food is just different around. And it's so nice to connect with people that know the real stuff, the real recipes of everything. So
the way they do.
The way they do, you know, it's like I don't know, like doing in Venezuela. Let's suppose we were doing like Irish stew with fish. You know, that would make sense.
I do understand. Like there was a restaurant in Bray. For me, it was one of the in my head, at least the way I feel, not in my head, the way I feel. Bray start to become the mini Italy of Ireland a few years back, and they had a restaurant there. It was Campo di Fiori. The head chef, they closed down like a couple of years ago, and the head chef there was Italian, and he made a lasagna instead of bolognese with beef. He made with lamb.
All right.
If I do with lamb or you do with lamb, that would be a murder to the Italians.
That's like the carbonara with cream.
Yes. Yeah, here you talk about carbonara. It's basically like bechamel sauce with some bacon lardon in it,
Yeah.
and they call that carbonara. It's literally my grandma start to move in her grave right now just because of saying that. Yeah.
I remember Giovanni from Microsoft.
Yeah.
Okay.
So cazzo. Yeah. Anyway, the point there when I went there is the interpretation. Who interprets this classic? Like I remember in the airport, one of the restaurants we had there, we had to serve, let's say, the workman, and they want a cuddle, if I don't mistake.
Cuddle.
Cuddle.
Like cuddle?
No, the dish.
Ah.
They have a dish.
Okay.
No, thank you.
That was a little bit
Yeah. So I probably am mispronouncing the whole thing here, but basically is boiled with potatoes, all the breakfast meat.
Okay.
Can be a little bit disturbing when you start to see the pictures and how the things are. So I did my interpretation.
Okay.
So I cooked separately and then make the things and just put together in the last minute. So you have a little bit more color.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember giving to them and they just look. I said, "There's too much color on that. Should be literally pale,
Yeah.
boil food, literally cook. Sorry,
you,
my language,
you as
but
a
cooking
chef,
a
you
condom.
don't want to see that. You know?
Yeah, literally cooking a condom and throwing side. And I said, "Oh my God, no!" Oh, but anyway, in the end, it was beautiful. Like the way I made. The guy tasted and said, "Wow, reminded me of my grandmother's way to cook." And then I look, I said, "Yeah, but you guys are complaining about the way it looks." Yeah.
It's like a couple of St. Patrick's ago, I did an Irish stew, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't follow the typical traditional recipe. So I follow it was Jamie Oliver's recipe.
God.
And
A
look,
British.
mate, I was proud of my dish. That was beautiful.
All right.
It's nice color and everything. And I was so proud of it. And then I started showing to all the Irish people, like, look at my Irish stew on St. Patrick Days with my nice stout Guinness. Everyone was like, what is that? That's not an Irish stew. It was like, but Jamie Oliver saying it is, you know. And, I mean, it tastes great. But what I'm trying to say is, like, there's a big difference between fusion kitchen and the actual tradition. So I think people should be a little bit more flexible, and at the same time, people, if you're selling something signature, you cannot go out of the recipe. If you want to do some fusion, it's okay, because I'm going to put it this way. What happened if, let's suppose today we're going down to the kitchen and you start cooking arepas?
Oh no,
Okay, so
not
I will
even
be,
try.
I will be like, arepas are very simple to make, right?
I
So
know,
the
but
only
yeah.
thing with the arepas
There's
that
a
I noticed
classic.
here in Europe is, okay, we allowed a lot of stuff in the arepa.
We don't have corn here.
Any
The
feeling.
corn is already different.
No, but the thing with the arepa is, like, we're very flexible with the things you put in. All right, you can put cheese, you can put guacamole, you can put a shredded beef, you can put whatever you want. But one day, this Spanish girl, I can't remember her name, she came to me and it's like, "Oh my God, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever done in my life." It's like, "Yeah, what are you eating?" "Arepa." "Okay, what did you put inside?" "Jam."
What?
I was like,
oh
wait,
my
wait,
God.
wait. That's in another level, man. Like, no, you don't put jam in the arepa. You know what I mean? Like stop it. So I think there's a kind of it just reminds you like a little stick.
Yeah.
It's flexible, but in some points
Will break.
you know?
Yeah. It's like the Brazilians with their Brazilians can handle their sweet. For me now, when I eat Brazilian sweets, they're very rich.
Okay.
Let's put it that way. I used to do events, fine dining, and then people want to have some Brazilian flair.
Right.
So I used to put brigadeiro. I don't know if you ever tried
Brigadeiro.
before. It's basically, you get a can of condensed milk, 3 spoons full of cocoa powder, and a tablespoon as well of butter.
Right.
And you reduce the shit of it
Right.
until you start to get out of the bottom. And then you put in a plate, you just put a little bit of butter. It's like you're doing cake, but you don't put any flour. And you throw that and let cool down. After that, you make little bowls and pass through the chocolate. How they call that? No, Jesus Christ, wine again. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's kicking.
Yeah, it's kicking. It's a good
It's
kicking that,
really nice.
and it's easy to drink.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah.
You just go easy in your throat. And
Yeah. So you get the confectionery, like just to get like a little bit that.
Sparkling.
Yeah.
What's the name?
I forgot now. Yeah. Jesus.
We know where we
We know. Yeah.
About.
Anyway, you had the brigadeiro, and then you normally when I had to serve to any non-Brazilian,
Right.
I made up to 3 grams. So it's a tiny little bowl.
Okay.
Normally
It's
Brazilians.
full of flavor.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah,
rich.
yeah,
It's rich. It's condensed milk reduced in chocolate, so will be a kick. Condensed milk by itself is already a kick. So I used to serve that as almost like a fudge, and people love it. But if you give more than that, I start with 5 grams, and people say it's too rich.
We call it empalagarse. I don't know what's the word in English.
You need to write it down. I put the subtitles.
Empalagar. I don't know if it.
Empalagar.
I don't even know if it's a Spanish word or like a word in Spanish. Empalagar is when something is just too sweet.
Oh yes, but like for the Brazilians, they go well with that. My point here is like we do pizza in Brazil, and we have you go to the pizzeria, and then you're gonna have pizzas, traditional pizzas, and you have your dessert pizzas now.
Oh well, you see
So
these, like,
you see here Nutella
and,
with
banana.
strawberries and banana,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
for me now it's just like no,
But
thank
it's
you.
a
I
thing.
don't.
It's a trend.
It start to come here.
Yeah.
It's the same. Like in Brazil, we have like this fija, but that's Lebanese. It's a mini. It look like a mini pizza. That's the way it's described.
It's like the stroganoff. Where
The
is
Brazilian
stroganoff
one,
from?
Russia.
Ah, you're the first actually.
And then the stroganoff is because the family call stroganoff, and they make that dish for them. It's like chantilly, come from an area in France called chantilly.
But it's such a strong thing in Brazil now.
Oh yeah, and then we serve with crispy potato crisps. It's basically
I have an argument with a chef from Brazil.
Yeah.
And this chef was telling me like, this is a stroganoff is from Brazil, man. I was like, man, I don't want to break your dreams or anything. I don't want to break your heart, but it's not. But apparently, I didn't know that stroganoff was such a big thing in Brazil.
It is, and the way that we do there, we use like pico mushrooms. Because
pico,
like in Brazil.
Shiitake or
No, it's pico butter mushroom.
Yeah.
It will be champignon.
Champion.
So we like in Brazil, we didn't have fresh mushrooms until like a couple of years ago, like a decade ago. Was very difficult to find. Who brought the mushrooms fresh is the Japanese.
Yes.
Like the way we see here as a Chinese or in other countries, like as a big Asian power for food. In Brazil, at least São Paulo, is Japanese. Right. I never seen a Chinese person until I came to Europe.
I think it's such an amazing thing, like, and I think not much people knows about it. Like, there's a big cultural exchange between Japan and Brazil now.
Oh yeah, Second World War.
Yes,
they move in.
I think that's amazing. Like not much people know about this, and I found about these. I don't know how they call them, like Asian Brazilians.
Yeah.
They come back to Japan, but now they're too noisy for the Japanese lifestyle.
And then you have like, because Japanese, they're not much open.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you're Japanese and you get a passport just for one reason, your father and your mother is Japanese and you're born in Japan.
Yeah.
If your mother and father is Japanese and born somewhere else, you're
Gajing.
no, almost. You're sansei, or whatever. Right. We say like non sei. Okay. In other words, kind of translated, roughly translation in Portuguese, like I don't know.
Okay.
Basically, whatever you're born there. If your father or your mother is Japanese, and you're born, and your mother or father is a different nationality, they mix. You're literally you're nobody. It's the same. You're Italian, yeah.
I'm Venezuelan.
Yeah, no. You hold the Italian passport, correct?
Yes, but this is a thing in Venezuela that I have to, because you see there's these people in Venezuela that hold Italian passport, and they call themselves Italians, right?
Yeah.
Or Venezuelan Italian, and it's not well look. It's like you're trying to be someone that you're not. So in Venezuela, I mean, I hold Italian passport, but when I identify myself as where are you from, it's Venezuela.
Oh yeah. Same here. I'm mezzo Italiano.
Yeah.
So mezzo Italiano. Yeah. So it's the same here, like saying half and half. Yeah. We identified as half. Like I feel more half because of my family. My mom's family is Italian,
Yeah.
and my father's family is Portuguese. They were born in Brazil, my mom and my father. So in theory,
So you're second generation. No?
I'm the second generation.
The
Yes.
same with me. I mean, no, I'm third generation.
But yeah, there are people like this. They're fifth generation, and then I agree. Yeah, you're not Italian. You just hold Italian passport. Yes.
Yeah.
It's not because you
No,
make
it
signs with
doesn't
the
work
hands.
like that. Yeah.
So I see like that. I feel as a half Italian, half Portuguese, born in Brazil.
All right.
Not much half Portuguese because I didn't have much contact with my father's family. So sorry,
Fill it up.
top up time. Yeah.
Fill it up.
Yeah.
You don't be shy.
No.
Okay.
Top up as well. Don't worry. Here we go.
Yeah.
Finish that.
There you
Finish
go.
all. Yeah.
We haven't toast, have we?
We did in the beginning, but
Oh
we
my
toast
God,
again.
drop
Yes.
it like that.
Yeah.
Cheers, man.
So that part of the oh yeah, toasting it to drink.
Mm-hmm. Spatlock.
Mm-hmm.
Or like in Venezuela we say with the con la izquierda
Yeah.
para que se repita. Do you understand?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
With the left to return, keep going.
To do it again.
To
in
do
the
it again,
future. Yeah,
yes.
There you go.
So I identify myself as a half Italian, and the point is, if you go to Italy, and I go to anyone and say, look, that's my heritage, they will say you're not Italian.
No.
It can be very
If you're going
racist.
to get the passport, you cannot just go. And it's
Oh
like,
yeah, no, yeah. But like in the Japanese, going back to the point, the Japanese in Brazil, they are very strong, very strong. Is the place you're gonna find the most Japanese out of Japan or the center.
Yes.
I have a friend of mine.
I found that so
He-
curious, man.
He's really cool. Like when I like a few weeks ago, we were doing a menu and saying, okay, we will do yakisoba,
Yakisoba.
and then they came to me and said, what is yakisoba? I said,
What do you
Japanese
mean?
Japanese noodles. You never
yeah,
tried.
like-
Ah no, noodles is Chinese. I said no.
Whoa.
It's Japanese that.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, yeah,
interesting. And then I put in the name of the concept as I show you in the thing there like a gaijin, and then they came to me and said, Ricardo, what gaijin means? And then I said gaijin means foreigner.
Well, you know, where the
Was quite funny.
pasta, as we know it, came from? Is that
China.
So pasta, spaghetti.
It's basically they saw in China, they import to Europe, and then they did
we're in the same channel
and they
here, yeah.
and they did their way.
Yes.
You know, like they did the fusion.
This is hard to tell. To
But it's the
people,
same.
eh?
It's the same when you say about pizza, and they say pizza is Italian. But if you stop and think, where tomatoes come from
Where the tomatoes came from?
originally, which part of the world they come from?
The tomato is a fruit.
No, it is a fruit, but which
Right, so-
continent the tomato come from?
Cannot be Asia.
Came from Mexico,
There you go.
Latin America.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And
So-
that was my next point.
Like the poor Italians in 500 years ago. What
Remember the migrations came from Mexico, which was the
Yeah.
most advanced civilization at the moment, and they
Yeah.
went down to South America.
Yeah, they went there. But like, if you stop and think, it's like that. The pizza is not Italian at all, because they got the like.
People is-
No, I'm not Italiano. I can say that. But like, if you see, is the base of the pizza, the dough, they come from Middle East. They
Right.
import that to Italy to finish with the famine there, and then after that, even after the Roman Empire start to collapse, they import the tomato and they start to grow tomatoes, and they start to spread on top of the pizza, and then the cheese came just after that. So it's an evolution.
It's an evolution. It's the same with the arepa. That's what like look,
Yeah, people
you
don't
can
understand.
the arepa so good. Like people, you see, like Venezuelans were very nationalist with our gastronomy.
Yeah,
Right?
every country is
There's
like
a
that.
current fight, and this will never end between Colombia and Venezuela. Who owns the arepa? Is that Colombia? Is that Venezuela? But the truth is, like in Mexico, they have something called gorditas, which is technically an arepa, right? And they have
Gorditas.
Gorditas, which means fatty.
I was saying, who is fatty?
The ayaka, right? The ayaka, like people.
What is ayaka?
Ayaka is our Christmas plate, right?
All right.
Which is basically a stuffed dog in a plantain leaf and boil. I have to give you one. I'll give you one this year.
All right.
It's
yes.
amazing. It's our Christmas dinner. Completely different to any other country. I'm very proud of it because it's some of the stuff that we have that nobody else have, right? But
A dog for South America is something peculiar.
oh yeah, but this is amazing because this is boiled into a plantain.
Yeah,
leaf.
but like a duck.
no,
let's
no
start.
dog.
Dog.
No dog.
You said dog.
No dog. The quack dog. No.
Yeah, no.
No. A dog. Like a dog.
Oh, wow.
No.
Woof woof. Dog.
Are you telling me? No, we don't eat dogs.
All right.
No,
okay.
no.
Sorry. I thought
Right,
that was
this is
just in
funny
China.
because This is
Okay.
two accents just fighting each other.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm talking about like a masa, a dog.
A doll.
Yeah.
Doll.
A dog.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
So
That's
it's
the
a
wine.
stuffed dog with
All right.
with pork, chicken, onions, and a lot of stuff. It's beautiful,
Oh,
man.
lovely.
It's beautiful. It's stuffed into a plantain leaf and it's boiled. And it's beautiful. The
Would
taste
be-
that it has. It's,
Would be like how can I say a dumpling, but a big dumpling.
It's more, and people is gonna hate me for this, but the actual truth is like it's like a tamal. It's a big
Ah,
tamal.
it's like a tamala.
Yeah,
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Don't need to show because people will not see that. That's a podcast, yeah.
I know it is your podcast.
I know we're in
But
YouTube.
I need you to know what it is.
All right.
Is it?
So, guys, who is listening is like a tamal. Lovely. The color is amazing. Nice yellow.
but if you-
put the eggs in it.
Some of the
Yeah.
region
So
of the
it's
country.
basically a dough stuffed with
pork, chicken.
all raw or pre-cooked.
All right, this is a big debate. So half of the country to the left, the city that I grew up in
Yeah.
San Cristobal, Venezuela. We put the
Which
stuffing.
part? Which part of Venezuela? North, south, east, west?
and
Because
the
that's
it's on the Occident. It's close to Colombia, on the border to Colombia.
so. That is a western part of Colombia,
It's-
Venezuela. Sorry, I
Yes.
apologize.
So from that region, we put the stuffing raw, all the pork, all the chicken, and all the beef, right?
And like the juices of it,
Why?
stay in it.
Why? Because our way to see stuff is like when you're cooking,
Yeah.
all the juice is going to the dog. So
All right.
you
So the
know,
dough will be a little bit thicker.
and it will not go
And
out.
drier.
It will not be go out because you have the plantain leaf.
Yeah.
So it will stay. So it's tastiest.
Yes.
You know? In the capital, where Santiago is, you're gonna talk with Santiago soon. And
Yeah.
please talk about this because this is gonna be super fun. All right. He cooked.
Write it down for,
Yeah,
when we get Santiago. How do you call that?
Ayaca. How they prep the ayaca in the capital city of Venezuela? They cook the stuffing first. They cook it all.
Yeah, and make thinner dough.
Yeah. What happened then after? So you have a dry stuffing.
Really?
You know, when you buy the meat, when you buy the pork, it's dry.
Yeah.
Right. So this is gonna be a good debate because he's gonna come here after me and he's gonna tell you like, oh my god, he's so wrong, you know. But yeah, the truth is,
I'm
that,
gonna poke him with that now.
Oh man,
Because they like if you stop and think, it's like the Wellington, beef Wellington.
a beef Wellington, but the beef Wellington
Wha-
has a
when you-
pastry on top.
Yeah, puff pastry. But
Puff
like
pastry.
the filet mignon is just sealed and put inside. Filet mignon will release water, doesn't matter what, and the puff pastry is very thin, so will not absorb whatsoever.
Yeah.
So the secret to keep that together is one, you pass the mustard nicely over the meat, so we'll hold on a little. When it's cooking, the mustard is kind of hold as a shield, and then on top of that you put your mushrooms processed in it. So your processed mushrooms, well, the processed mushrooms will be basically bleach your mushroom and put over, we release water as well.
Yes.
But if you cook properly, is just amazing.
Something that I just
The only way I learned to do it properly, Wellington, was in Gordon Ramsay.
well, like.
But like I have to say,
Well, you know,
don't
like-
ask me why. Until
it's
then,
like
my Wellington, the base was wet as
I had to
Fork.
show you this video. Like next time that we talk, we're gonna talk about this lady that made the best Wellington ever, and I'm being sarcastic here.
Oh Jesus! Okay, all right, okay.
It's just amazing.
Yeah.
So like I was telling you, like now that I was thinking, maybe it's the wine, but I was actually thinking
That's the idea of the
why
wine.
people doesn't sear the beef first, so you can have like the middle of everything. You know what I mean? So you don't have. It doesn't have to be fully cooked. It doesn't have to be raw. Just seal the beef, keep the juices inside, and then make the hallacas. Maybe this year I'll do some hallacas. You never know.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's the part of the evolution.
What's your traditional Christmas plate?
Whoa, we do turkey leg.
You eat turkey in Brazil.
Yes.
That's such an American thing to do.
We are in America, yeah.
Oh, sorry. You're right. No, you got me there. Yes, you got me there. Yeah. The States. That's very,
North America, yeah.
North America. But North America is not only the States. North America is Canada and Mexico, too.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
But when you stop and think, like in Brazil, depending the part of Brazil you come from. In São Paulo, we have the tender, would be like the thigh of pork thigh. And then we have turkey as well. And then we have pineapple.
Right.
In the middle of that. Don't ask me why. And then we have like something we call farofa.
Farofa. Wait.
That's normally with cassava, but we do with the corn.
What's the farofa? I think I tried farofa before.
Farofa is based cassava flour.
Yes.
And that's it.
Which is yuca.
Yeah, yuca for you. And the cassava flour is toasted.
Right.
The way I like to do it, I sweat some onions just to see through. Put some bananas.
All right.
Ideally plantain, but if you put the bananas in the last minute, it doesn't matter if it's plantain. If it's plantain, you put it in the beginning because it's a little bit tougher. But if it's a normal banana, and just in the last minute,
what
you
do
put there
banana?
any bananas, because like you need to adapt.
Yeah.
As I said before, with the Italian guy in Bray, they adopt a classic, but he's allowed to do it. It's the same with arepas. You're allowed to do whatever you want over yaca. You're allowed to do it. I'm not. Because I'm a foreigner.
Yeah, you. Yeah,
or I'm a gringo trying to interpret your culture. And that's not fair.
It's like with
people, and people do not like that.
There was watching a presentation of a guy here, right? So this guy was telling, like, you know that I live, I don't know how many years in Mexico, and I'm bringing you the best recipes of tacos. He's like, okay, I'm ready to watch birria, I'm ready to watch and cheek, butt, brain, tongue. The man is like, I'm bringing you the sweet potato and feta cheese tacos. Like, what the fuck? Sorry. What are you talking about? What are you saying? Are you for real? You live in Guadalajara, Mexico, and this is what you bring in here? Come on, man. No. So it's so funny because like I think people just want to make their own branch in some point. You know what I mean? But you cannot just you cannot just use that as, how they call it these days. Cultural appropriation, I think. Yeah.
Oh yeah, a little bit of cultural appropriation there.
No, if you present that to me like a fusion dish, and you tell me like, look, this is for vegetarians, this is for vegans.
Confusion. Continue.
I will say like, okay, that's fine, but don't come and try to sell me this stuff, telling me this is 100% Latino because we don't need too much sweet potato.
But at the end of the day, you're seeing that and you criticize because you come from that part of the world. Mm-hmm. But if you went to do RSU and you got the recipe from British guy.
I know, that's the worst part.
British, no, English.
Yeah.
Oh, I kicked the microphone.
I never thought about that. You was like,
but that's the way people see here.
You are doing that.
Yeah, say that to an Irish person. Probably you're gonna get. Depending where you come from, you're gonna get stabbed.
That's why nobody wanted to try my Irish stew. my UK Irish stew. Yeah.
But like, if you get there with the point I get about the cassava and the cassava, the farofa. When I make here, I always try to get with the products I have locally.
Yeah.
Like when you're gonna do arepas or anything, like when I was in the hotel I used to work before, I buy straight from the farmer. I didn't have a middle guy. And I remember he came with corn, and it was sweet corn. And I look and said, that's perfect. He said, it's the first time I'm planting that here in Ireland,
Oh,
because
wow.
he never did it. I said, I want as much as you can. And then I got almost a ton. I don't
Damn.
know if that was my mistake,
Damn.
but I started to make a dessert.
But
Like
in fairness,
I love corn. That's something in America in general we have a lot. And I start to do a dessert made of corn. Basically, you cook the corn in milk, and then you pass that and just pass through the chinois, and then whatever goes through is literally already corn reduced, so that will set. It's just
Right.
sugar and corn
Yeah.
and milk. That's it. But it's lovely. It's gentle. It's not rich.
Soft
It's
milk,
just
yeah.
it's like a panna cotta made of corn.
Oh.
You know, when
okay.
normally people make panna cotta, put gelatin, or sometimes they put corn flour, but corn flour don't give you
Don't give
flavor.
you flavor.
You know, and then get a yellowish.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just lovely.
Just
We call
melt in your
not pamonha, curau.
Curau.
Yeah, there's a place in São Paulo. Always when my mom has a countryside house, so when we come back from the countryside house, pass through that place, they call Castelinho da Pamonha,
Castellini
or
de Pamonha.
the little castle of Pamonha.
Oh, Pamonha. Okay.
But it's a look like look like a castle, and it's huge. And you have like ice cream. You have everything made of corn. But anyway, it's lovely.
Nice.
It's
If you
lovely.
want to know about corn, go to Mexico. They have all kinds of corns over there.
Yeah.
They have purple, blue, rainbow corn if you want.
Have you ever tried before the purple corn?
Oh yeah,
What,
totally. I had
what do
tried
you think
crickets,
about
man.
what do you think about flavor in the corn?
I think it's super rich. I think it's richer. Like when you go to Mexico, I went to Guadalajara, I went to Vallarta, I went to Manzanillo. It's just like the gastronomy is just amazing, man. It's just amazing. They will use the parts of the cow that you won't usually eat, and they just make them spectacular.
What's the favorite part of a cow you prefer to eat?
The heart.
Heart.
Yes, it's my favorite muscle. I think it's super tasty. I love the consistency. Actually, I bought like I was like fucking sorry. It was
It's
like
okay. I
like
told you
three-
can curse here. It's
3
fine.
or 4 kgs.
Really.
Yeah, it was like this size, man. And
Have you ever tried feijoada?
no, it was feijoada.
Is basically a black bean stew made with pork in Brazil. But pork in Brazil, they salted the pork.
All right.
Because that it used to be a slave food, so they didn't have
It makes
refrigeration.
sense. That's
So
all
they
our food
used to
coming from.
salt it. It's
Yeah.
the same with cod. Cod for us in Brazil is salted. When you
Alright.
say fresh cod and saying it's not salted, they look at you like, how?
Yeah.
Anyway, I went to do a feijoada a few years back, about a decade ago, here in Ireland. Couldn't find anything, of course, salted pork. So I had to salt myself. So I went, like, a few parts we put is the tongue and the ears.
Oh,
And I love.
Oh wow. Okay.
It's lovely.
It's,
And me personally, I like. So I went to the butcher and I said, can I buy ear and tongue, pork tongues and ears?
here.
Yeah.
They don't sell it.
The guy came and said,
No,
no.
No.
And then he said, look, I can sell you the head. But normally I throw in the bean. I said, what?
What?
Yeah.
What did you do?
I said, okay,
No, you
when?
Had, you had to go to this Middle East kind of
Yeah,
shop
no,
to get
but
it.
like that was 10 years ago. Didn't have the Middle East shops as we have now. So I went back there and he said, come back on Thursday because I can get the animal. I said, okay. Went there, bought the bag, and he said, can I charge you €5 for that? So, yeah, you're selling
Yes,
me.
please.
And he said, no, I just will charge you because normally I throw in the bin.
That's all the time.
I said, okay. And I gave you $5 for a full pig's head. And then, that's my story with the pork.
No, you know, like to go to in fact this kind of culture, you have to go to the Middle East kind of shops, and I actually had, and this is a little bit personal, Ricardo, but I actually had lamb balls, lamb testicles, a couple of days ago. Stuffed them, not bad at all, to be honest. Sorry, I just hit your microphone. Not bad at all, to be honest. Not bad. I have my number one customer is my girlfriend's son, and he will eat anything I cook, and he's so happy. And this was a challenge because I don't lie to him. I actually tell him like
he actually will not lie to you with the feedback. Yeah,
he won't. Look, man, I'm telling you, like it's so funny. These days he was playing in his Switch, right, and he's just having a normal conversation with his guys, right, and they're like, I'm bringing his dinner, and of course I cannot bring normal dinners in my house. I had to do everything fine dining over the top. It's because I have fun doing it. And the man is like, my man boyfriend, he's a chef in a hotel, a very important chef, and he just cooked for me, like bragging with his friends. He's like, look at this guy, man, for real, like I serve these, I stuff them with stuffing with some peppers, onions, put it on the oven, and it was actually super nice, super nice. And I can see that now my wine is gone.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. The wine finish. That's how we finish our interview.
I need to come back then, man.
Yeah. Next time, bring a bigger bottle. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
No, I'm joking about the bigger bottle. Yeah.
You have another interview coming.
Yeah. I will. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Look, man,
no, it was a pleasure.
No, thank you.
No, it was great to have you here.
So I had so much fun here.
No, it's great.
Let's do this again.
I know we will do. Like we will talk more. It was lovely to have you here in the show. Well, that was Chef Jeremie here for us. Gonna say anything else before we go?
No, just thank you very much for inviting me.
Alright, so
this was, I think it's my first interview, my first experience here in the podcast. I was very, very interested. Look, I could keep drinking and talking, but no, thank you very much, Ricardo.
No,
very much appreciate
Jeremie,
that.
thank you very much to come here. And
Right.
well, that was Jeremie, Chef Jeremie, here in the FoodKast. And thank you very much.
Bye.